All right, folks. If you are tuning in, we are now kicking off the Winter War League Week 1 matchup on St. Marie du Mont at daytime. Today's matchup consists of our very own American team, the Ninth Panzer Division, going against our representatives from Latin America, Legion 201. Sure to be an exciting matchup. Stay tuned as we kick off. Hope you enjoy. All right. Hopefully, we've got some game volume. We will know soon enough once things get started. Bear with us if anything is incorrect as of now. We are still in the learning phase. This is the first time we've done this on YouTube. Last time was Twitch, so working out some minor, inconveniences, but hoping to bring you a good presentation nonetheless. We've got about 1 minute, and if you are just now tuning in, you are witnessing Winter War League Week 1 matchup between the Ninth Panzer Division and Legion 201. We've got AA Network as mid. How exciting. This should be good. With this matchup, you're going to see obviously most of your play landing on the western side of the map. It's really going to be who controls land, as it is with every matchup, but this one's going to be especially daunting. I look for whoever to hold mid first to definitely have an advantage. With the amount of distance you have to cover between points going diagonally like that, as we all know, or many of you know out there that are watching, it's not easy. So hopefully we can get something going here, give you a good matchup. We've got a couple seconds till we kick off. Let's see what we can do. All right, folks. Hopefully we've got everything working for you. We should have game volume and you should hear my voice. So if we do not, somebody please let me know at some point once we get started. But as you see, we are kicking off. It looks to be that we've got Legion taking the slight edge of mid. Plenty of 9PZ pulling up as we speak. Let's get a nice overhead look. As you see, we've got some Legion inside the point. It appears 9PZ is actually making, for right now, a little bit better of an advance. We've got a lot more of them spread out, but we do see some Legion pouring in now. We've got some trucks. Server connection was lost. Oh, bear with us, folks. We'll get right back in there. Minor technical difficulties. No way this is happening. Oh, that's funny as shit. What was it? One moment, folks. Alright, let's get back in here. Wow. Okay. Hell yeah. Well, not sure how that one happened, but let's get right back to it. Alrighty. And we're back. As you see right now, it appears that 9PZ has the advantage over mid. They do look to be taking. I apologize for the minor technical difficulties we've faced, but we are back, we are live, and you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna forget about, because we got some action-packed Hell Let Loose going on, baby. Let's go. Alright. Just a reminder for any of you tuning in, Midpoint is AA Network. We all know how crazy that one can be. Artillery going everywhere, both teams dropping heavily on the midpoint. We've got 9PZ with control as of now. Not many Legion 201 within the area, but they are coming back. Looking to be from their push garrison, obviously they're in Fox 4, the majority of them. Stand by with us for some more. We've got some rockets going everywhere. We've got shells launching. There we go. Explosions. I'm loving it. We've got a tank battle. Let's get you right in the action, folks. That's what we'll bring you here. We'll get you right in the action. Obviously the medium and the light working together in tandem is a good option, especially for the beginning. Try to take some pressure off of this midpoint. Facing heavy barrage of rockets so far, but hey, it's what it is. This is hell letting loose. As you can see, not much action directly on the point. Everybody's pretty spread out. We all know this is a really open point and a difficult one to traverse these open fields. But the boys doing their best. As we see, we've got some healing going on. These two tanks still holding off this 9PZ advance. That's looking nice so far. Let's take a look at the map. So far we've got fairly little garrison set up by Legion 201. I hope that doesn't work to their disadvantage, but it does look like there's more and more popping up by the second, so I hope I'm not speaking too soon. But as we all know, garrisons do win games, folks. We've got artillery zoning in on these two stationary tanks with the light moving up, advancing toward the front line. Not much in his line of sight, though. We've got a decent Legion push coming in from the eastern side of AA Network, right on map's edge. Well, not map's edge, but you know what I mean. take a peek back here and see what we've got. It does appear that we've got a little bit of action going on. Not much pressure, obviously, coming from 9PZ. We've got a recon team out here kind of scouting around, doing what they do. We do have more enemies, and it does look like Legion has actually seen them. They are calling them out. We've got markers going up everywhere. That's what we like to see. That's good teamwork right there, fellas. Definitely going to keep an eye on this western side here. Right on that map's edge. Definitely will be an interesting place. There's a lot of action in that wedge over there. Those of you that play a lot know exactly where I'm talking about. Looks like we got some 9PZ trying to set up a little bit of defenses, kind of get a look at what's going on, gain some ground. Back on mid, we've got a strong mid hold, at least on the western side. It does appear the eastern side is where the Legion is still pushing in from. We've got a better view from this overhead of the wheat field. Definitely interesting to see it from this this angle and direction. We've got one Legion squad leader in the point. May or may not be able to do much. We will find out. I like guys that are willing to get in the shit. There you go. Taking time to remove stuff. He's cool, calm, and collective. Wow. On his merry way. Does he see him? No, he's missed them all. We've got scout support there. Top 4 doesn't seem to notice. More coming from the east and south. Legion 201 starting to contest and take from 9th PZ. Pressure is definitely being put on, folks. We are seeing it live now. We've got a decent chunk of 9PZ still out to the west. I'm not certain where their spawn is. It appears to be to the west, so that's going to be the closest they've got. It's a decent trek. We will see how 9PZ holds up here. If Legion can take the time and get enough guys in on support, maybe do a garrison swap or get some guys in here on their OPs, they may be able to do some damage here, but it's gonna be rough with just this one squad. Lots of firepower moving in, though. It does appear that Legion seems to have a good setup. At the action, folks. Lots. Ooh, bombing run coming in. See if anything's accompanying that. We've got some supplies coming down. 9PZ still holding strong. They held off that big wave of 201. Not certain if 201 just happened to slip through and get a a squad lead with something, or if they had a spawn wave off an airhead. Perhaps we're a little early in the game, but we are close to having that available, if not already. Doesn't appear a lot of actions going on this midpoint, though. Let's try to get right in the thick of it back here on the defense point. Legion currently being pushed back. 9PZ holding mid. Currently ahead 3-2. My 7-month-old in the background. He's okay. Not a whole lot of pressure seeming to be on this back point. Definitely good to hold, make sure they reestablish. They really want to get some garrisons set up, especially some southern push garrisons for Legion here. We need some blue red line garrisons to really, solidify your ground. Alright, let's see. Yeah, not a whole lot of action going on as far as directly on any of the points. A little bit of pressure by each team being put up, but majority of the fighting appears to be going on just east of the point here, southeast. Try to get you in on as much of the action as we can see. Legion 201 Fluky, dropping plenty of 9PZ that we're trying to penetrate there. Not a whole lot of others left. We will keep eyes. Legion doing a pretty decent job, at least, of defending, staying together, it appears. We still don't have any garrisons up here, but that is very difficult to do. Any of you out there that played this game, many times at all, you're going to know that this ground right here is extremely difficult. You have very few lanes to cover. One right here being on the east side of your screen. The other obviously on your west. Very slim pickings as far as anywhere to hide, duck, dip, dive, or dodge. So definitely not a surprise that we don't have garrisons up there, but it would have been nice to see had they decided to do that a little bit sooner, to prioritize that going into it, knowing that this point, being a diagonal, is going to be really significant in holding as much ground as you can. That way you don't have to concede on any pressure, or at least not as much as you can. Got some 9PZ working their way in. We will keep an eye on that. Obviously we'll try to stay where the action is as best as we can here. We've got 9PZ working with an armor unit, so we are about to see some real good action. Rockets flying. Panzer IV creeping in slowly. Definitely putting the heat on Legion here. We'd like to see how they play this to defend. Apologize for the stick drift. We'll switch to controller number 2 here real fast. There we are. And we're right back at it. PZ4 starting to move up finally. 9PZ as a whole. Putting the pressure on. Definitely trying to see what they can take from Legion. Wasn't a whole lot of contesting going on for mid, so we're definitely getting pressure already. We've got a spawn wave coming. We've got mid being contested. We've got Brecourt Battery being taken by 9PZ, currently contested, with Midpoint now being taken. Curious to see how this works out. We've got more armor moving up. It appears to be a Panther to reinforce this here PZ4. Definitely going to be an interesting look and see what happens here, folks. We've got big plays going on both sides of the map. Let's go check the other side. We'll be right back. See how mid's looking. Oh wow, yes, as we see, there's maybe one PZ, 9PZ player in sight. This appears that unless something crazy happens and we get a wild spawn wave, or this little tank that could happens to do something, it does look like Legion is going to take mid back. Very curious. This is a big game. It looks like 9PZ may have overcommitted, but they are now no longer capping midpoint, and we are looking at 9PZ capping back on Brecourt. So a real good back and forth here. Huge spawn wave from 9PZ. Couldn't have come at a better time. How they managed to get that off and have that point cleared. Shout out to that tank crew. Amazing, amazing, amazing work. Let's see who this is here. See if we can get him on a shout out. Yeti, Griff, and Echo. Wonderful play, fellas. Ooh, almost taken out, but the Panther survives. He is damaged. We all know it takes three. 3 rockets right in the booty. Boom, boom, boom. Appears to be supplies dropping. We got stuff dropping everywhere, folks. This is no joke. We've had almost a full reset back here at mid for 9PZ. They do maintain control of the game so far. We're about 20 minutes in as it stands. It does appear at this point that 9PZ is going to hold, and I do believe there may have been an airhead that was dropped. I saw something in the distance. I'm not certain if that's what it was. Let's take a peek. It is indeed. We saw things dropping earlier, folks. I told you 9PZ is definitely on the aggressive side here. They're definitely trying to take what they can get. Finally bringing these 2 armor units some support that they desperately need. We've got Big Balls Meat Sledge right there in the center of the point, trying to take out as much as he can. Commander getting his hands dirty. Leading by example. I love to see it. As you see, folks, we've got very little defensive garrisons for Legion. I hope at this point their commander is desperately trying to get something up on Legrand. I'm not certain if he is yet. I don't see anybody back there, but he could be respawning. We'll let you know as soon as we know. We have quite a close cap race. Contesting stops on Brecourt. Legion is taking again. Legion needs a full reset here. They're capping mid, but I hope they don't continue. Yeah, 9PZ with the cap advantage. Another spawn wave. This is not looking good for Legion here. Not at all. 1 garrison on the point, 1 garrison just behind. Not enough, guys. Let's see if these armor units can move in and do something, but this is going to be difficult to stop at this point. However, if they are able to pull this off, it doesn't look like anybody on mid is really defending, so there is a chance here. They are seeming to hold. It is now just contested, folks. Nine PZ Commander still deep in the point, just making his rounds. Killing everything that moves. Legion moving in, trying to sustain, but this point is well and gone. 9PZ is going to take the 4-1 advantage here, folks. And we're going to watch every single one of Legion's garrisons drop. I hope we don't see a 5-0 here, but this is always a learning opportunity, folks. I'm glad we're able to present you with this here at Winter War League Media. We've got 9PZ making their way in. They're going for everything, guys. Brecourt is theirs. Let's see how Legion is going to respond. We've definitely got a big spawn wave coming off back here on the defense. We'll bring you some defensive action here, folks, because obviously if you're Legion, you're not thinking about offense right now. You're thinking, how in the hell am I going to save this game? Your backs are to the walls, gentlemen. Now's the time to respond. We've got a nice supply truck here, looking to drop some stuff off. Definitely going to get some garrisons up, I'm hoping. That's been one thing that's hurt Legion all game so far. Their garrison placement's been a little bit off. Not enough, and in interesting enough places to where they've partially landlocked themselves and were unable to advance further, giving up some ground that they really didn't need to. But take a look here on the map. Lots of areas around the Grand Chemin. We can get garrisons up. Obviously, we like to see them on the point, but I really like to see them around the point, guys. We need multiples on both wings. We've got Echo Squad out here. Hopefully he's working on getting that up. It does appear so. We're working this red line. We've got a squad leader. That's what we like to see. We've got 9PZ Commander has made his way all the way. He's going to love this. Quite the highlight reel tonight. Carving his way through to the enemy point, calling in mass destruction as he goes. Legion standing strong on the point, their defensive point, Le Grand Chemin. We've got garrisons going up. We've got 3 so far. Okay. Questionable play here by Legion, but I'm okay with it. Nice to be proactive. I definitely want to see some action over here. We really need a strong base of support here coming in this Charlie 2, Delta 2 grid squares. We got to control that red-blue line if we're a Legion right now. We're going to get enough pressure from straight up the gut as it is. So we really need something that we can bounce back and forth to and hold our ground as best as possible. Because I fear that once 9PZ takes advantage of this Charlie and Delta column, as far as manpower, it's gonna be a quick match for Legion if they're not careful. Nine PZ moving in, not halting on the pressure at all. Seeming to have a pretty great rhythm so far. As far as their unified push, we saw the full reset to save mid earlier. Could have cost them the match, potentially, had they not. This game often comes down to clutch plays, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen. We've got rockets away. Firing on this, I believe this was the... Yes, it was. PZ4. Ooh, it is satcheled though. I wonder if they're aware of this. It is about to blow. We're not sure who's gotten the kill for this, but definitely a good strike coming in from Legion against 9PZ on this frontal assault here with that PZ4. Very curious where the Panther has gone to, but once we find that, we will get that for you folks. Let's get us a good overhead shot of this. Obviously, if you're just tuning in, the top right of your screen is going to be the defensive point. Top left of your screen is going to be where the main western push by 9PZ is taking over and occurring. We've got this Panther hauling ass through the point. Probably looking to try to meet up with his infantry, do some combined arms. If they can eliminate some of these guys on the side of the roads and get him in there, there's a definite chance to do some damage. We've seen their armor units do a lot of damage tonight. You can almost accredit the taking of the last point to them, especially once their infantry support showed up. So I look for them to utilize that as much as possible. Got some shots on from the front. Not going to do a whole lot of damage to the Panther that way, but, you know, it's worth a shot. Forget about Panther says, hell no. This Panther just carving through, beating up everything in sight so far. Not certain if we've got anybody on his rear. Now's a great opportunity for anybody to have stepped up and put one in his ass, but it doesn't appear we've got anybody by capable of doing so. We've got all squad leaders. We've got one shot coming in, and then another short. I feel this light damage that this Panther has taken is not going to be much. We do see a ricochet. It appeared to have come from this direction, folks. You'll have some good shit on this one. Nice bombing run coming in by 9PZ. Or I'm sorry, it appears Legion actually called that bombing run to try to wear into 9PZ's push here. It appears 9PZ is now dropping an airhead right here behind their frontal push. Looks like they're going to try to utilize that for a support push as best as possible. I'm curious if anybody from Legion has seen. It looks like we've got a few guys moving this way. We've got things marked. They definitely know it's in the area. Let's see if we can stick with Snipes here. Snipes is down. They still have not found the airhead. This is going to be difficult. It is definitely hidden within a lot of shrubbery. So it's going to be very difficult to pinpoint that unless you're right there in the area, as many of us know. And we've got a spawn wave as well now. Not the largest, so they must be playing a little bit of defense. But we do see they've got control of this western side of the map. As I pointed out earlier, once they manage to do that, it is going to be much easier for them to go ahead and take this point. We've got a lot of pressure coming on Legion now. Spawning back, many of them. Not many left in the point. We may have a 5-0 on our hands, folks. Alright, folks, we got Legion finally coming back here. Definitely making a stand on their last point, saying, hey, we're not giving this shit up that easily. I like that. Let's take a peek here. We've got... Oh! Rookie mistake. Guy's planting a satchel. AT gets a little too big for his britches, fires around, kills his own guy. Doesn't end up taking out the tank. That's a definite waste of some shots. Gotta make better decisions than that, brother. Gotta make better decisions than that. I know it's a desperation thing and you got your chance, but Combat Sport ain't working on that. Legion's definitely taking their point back, so that's good to see for them. They also have the advantage on Brecourt Battery. If they're able to hold, it looks like there's very little 9PZ back here. That being the case, it does appear that unless 9PZ gets a good spawn wave off somewhere, we may be back to a 3-2 game, folks. Interesting how this has worked. Very little response having to happen from 9PZ. Not sure if the call just wasn't made or what, but they're no longer taking Brecourt. And we are near a 5-0. Let's get you back in the action, folks. We've got this. 76 with the takedown, getting everybody he can inside, making just utter desperation. Ooh. Hopefully, we see some big plays here. You'd think they would know that most guys like to bunch up behind this building. All he's got to do is kind of turn his turret a little bit, and he's going to get a whole squad there. We've got some markers there, so it does appear that he's taking advantage of that action. Good look, good read by the Legion tank commander there. We've got a bombing run that really just absolutely obliterates Legion here. 9PZ applying the pressure. They said, leave the bazooka. Take the bombing run. Legion's still holding strong, though. I'm impressed, actually. They've managed to continue to fight back, clawing their way back within this game. Hopefully they're able to do a little something here at Brecourt Battery. We've got a few squads in the back. I believe G was a recon team earlier, if I'm not mistaken. They are. Oh, we've got one. Oh, another recon squad leader. So not many guys, but hopefully this AT is able to do something for them. Brecourt, they may be able to come back a little bit. They're putting an awful lot of pressure from some very interesting areas of the map. I don't know if I would suggest alleviating that much pressure, defensive pressure off my point, knowing that the 5-0 is nearly imminent. But we shall see how this plays out. We've got some... Yep, we've got Legion trying to surround the squad here of 9PZ, still holding their defensive point strong. Back to Brecourt, we've got a mix. 9PZ does hold strong. We have a whole squad within the mix. No imminent threat from Legion as of yet. We will keep an eye on that. Let's check in with General Meats Lodge. Mr. Risk It for the biscuit here. Just running right into the whole team of Legion. No fucks given. Guy's got nuts the size of coconuts. I love it. I love to see a commander likes to get his hands dirty. That's always great to see. Interesting play here by some 9PZ. We're gonna call him out, Panther. Why are you crossing the field, dog? We don't do that. Goofy. Rockets away. Legion definitely not putting up a... not laying down, at least. That's definitely for sure. They're putting up quite a fight. Oh no. Oh no, we're about to see some tag team action going on here, folks. This does not look good. And just like that, I'm somehow mistaken. I've never seen something quite so crazy in my life. Apparently we were out of ammo, or we did not see or hear, because the enemy 75 is still standing, making a hefty pace toward Brecourt Battery. My 7-month-old in the back, making goofy noises. This is wild, folks. So not much from 9PZ going on as far as this front line. We've got a little bit of push from the south and east, but it does appear that most of these guys are... well, no, it doesn't. We've got a decent amount here on Brecourt. We've got some Legion moving in, trying to apply some pressure. They've got them surrounded, so they may be able to move in, kind of section it off a little bit. We do have a contested point as of right now. The favorite does appear to be in Legion as of right now. We're about a 5-1 within the point, so not a big ratio of difference, but let's check in down here on the field, see what we got going on. Panther tank. He's definitely injured. Looks to nearly be tracked, but again escapes by the skin of his teeth. Legion's still holding strong here on defense. Doesn't appear to be giving up much ground. But I'd like to see them expanding a little bit. You want to take advantage of your map edges, especially on this. These guys have to cross open fields. You really need to apply pressure and get control of all these intersections. Anything you can really get a hold of in these maps. So hopefully we see some spreading out by Legion here, but again, still struggling to get these defensive garrisons up. You see we have all but one have been removed by 9PZ as of right now. It does now appear we've got some action back on Brecourt. We'll take you over there as fast as we can. This is definitely where it's hot at, folks. We've had almost a full reset here by 9PZ. We've got tanks lining up, going at it. We've got the Allied light tank just scooting around here. Brecourt may be taken, folks. 9PZ steadily putting up pressure, trying to maintain their hold on for a 4-1, but Legion is moving in from the western side. They do have the garrison marked, so they are very aware of where they need to look. Curious to see how big of a spawn wave we get off here. Looks to be about 8 guys, 7 or 8 guys, so maybe give or take. Ooh, and half of them get obliterated. Absolutely obliterated right off the jump here. It looks like we've got armor somewhere that's just terrorizing folks. Oh, and we're going down. Armor on both ends. Definitely like what we're seeing here, folks. We've got artillery dropping. Legion still putting up a fight. It looks like they may take it. We're about 50% cap. But 9PZ with another spawn wave shuts that shit right down. Lots to see, folks. Lots to see. Legion with a hefty advantage on the point. Brecourt looks to be theirs. I may be mistaken, but by now that garrison's going to be locked out. I'm nearly certain of it. If it's not already been taken. Yeah, we're definitely within that 50-meter mark, guys. We're going to have a lot of trouble here for 9PZ. Oh, I am mistaken. We do have a spawn wave. This is definitely going to come in favor of 9PZ, but that artillery right away drops, obliterating half the spawn wave. Legion continuing to dominate as far as this advance. Good shots coming from AT right on this Panther over here. He is alone, not much infantry support. They may be able to catch him as he moves through here. This transition will be big. Fluky again hitting the front. Not the best move in the world, but he does have a rear shot now. And he lands it very well done. Definitely going to take more than that, but that Panther is injured now. He does need to be careful. It looks like we're at about 90% cap for Legion here, so they are coming back. They do have garrisons set up. Depending on how 9PZ plays this, they may lose AA network really quickly, and we may see one hell of a swing here, folks. Legion has to be careful not to get too far ahead of themselves here. They've got enemy armor on the point that's going to give them a lot of shock if they're not careful. We do have a small spawn wave coming in from just near AA network. I do look for most of 9PZ to probably have respawned there as a failsafe. And it does appear that many of them have spawned in between. And actually none appear to be at AA network. So this very well may be interesting, folks. If this Legion commander and some others find out here in just a second when they pop that flare, they're going to see, hey, there's nobody here, folks. And they're going to call some stuff. So we're going to keep on that. We'll stay tuned to see what happens. We've got a whole squad spawn. Very little coming from 9PZ now. Definitely going to have to take a moment to see how this plays out, folks. All right, folks. We are still here, keeping an eye on AA Network. We are back at a 3-2 game. We've got some spawn coming in from 9PZ. Legion not able to put enough pressure on. I'm not sure if they're just taking their time or just it's the amount of ground they're having to cover. We will know more shortly. But very surprised to have not seen more of a reset from 9PZ. They must be either really confident that they're going to be able to cap that point back with their prior armor unit that's still up there, I believe, or we may see a decent reset here momentarily. Let's go take a peek on this. Yeah, Legion defense point. We don't see many 9PZ around, so I look for 9PZ to probably be doing a decent reset here. Got a few of them still coming in from this little area over here. Mostly the commander. He just likes to get his hands dirty. And there we have it, folks. We start to see a lot of squad leaders respawning here for 9PZ. So you're going to see them spread out, get some OPs up. We are back at a 3-2 game. They do need to hold this. I'm not certain of where their garrisons are. Obviously, I'm only, viewing from the Legion side. But Legion with some more garrisons. This is the most garrisons they've had all game. And this is arguably the best they've been doing as far as momentum all game. So we are looking strong here. Curious to see how 9PZ responds. They've not been, or rather, they've not had their backs against the wall yet tonight. So they still do have the advantage with the 3-2, but we shall see. And here we are, folks. We're still at AA, checking in. Not a whole lot of action. Yeah, you tell them. You tell them. Forget about, huh? Legion still applying pressure on mid. I would have liked to see a lot more pressure, knowing that command and their spotter knew that nobody was there. The recon flare again showing very little defense. Hoping to see Legion take advantage of that, but they are losing Brecourt battery once again. 9PZ just putting in work. We've got armor. Try to get you views. We've got smoke coming in. They are definitely being aggressive this match, folks. They said we've done it once, we're going to do it again. General Meat Sledge again, right here in the middle of the shit. Definitely a guy you can look up to for his gameplay. Calling all the right plays so far, help leading his team. He's right in the shit on Brecourt, taking out infantry as he goes. He does get wiped there, but hats off to him so far. These first 60 minutes have really been something. 50 minutes, I apologize. Oop. Technical difficulty there. Let's take a look at our map, folks. We are seeing a decent push coming in from Legion still on mid. Definitely got some squad leaders finally. Hopefully they're able to adjust some guys, get some people on some OPs. It does look like they have the opportunity to do so. It does appear that we've got some 9PZ pestering back here. Yep, trying to take down this garrison. They are on it currently. You like to see a a strafe run called on that if possible. But it doesn't appear that they had the capabilities to do so as of then. Only 150 munitions. We do have an armor unit that looks to be trying to salvage or somebody, but Too little too late, we've lost the garrison on our backup. Definitely got to keep eyes on that. If Legion is to lose many more, they will struggle here to maintain this point. As we all know, garrisons do win games. 9PZ still applying the pressure. Their push all game is focused from spawning just southeast of the point here. They've controlled this blue-red line so far much better than Legion has. Legion's still struggling to push and maintain and gain very important ground here on this red line. Also, it appears that Legion has lost their garrison on point, has indeed called a reinforce, so they are holding, but you're starting to see them kind of get engulfed by 9PZ. We've got some to the northwest, or northeast, sorry, and of course the southeast, as they've been all game. And it does appear that 9PZ looks to be calling in another airhead. So 9PZ likes to use this airhead to reaffirm their frontal push. Once they know it's cleared, he calls it in. Meat Sledge dropping the bombing run, perfectly timed. His airhead's going to land, it's going to be clear. He's going to go ahead and move in. We're going to watch the spawn wave, folks, and we're going to go from here. Legion is currently losing their point. Small spawn wave. We've got about 5. Basically a squad full. A couple squad leaders. Making their push. Check in here with one of our support players. Your support player should be like your Fredo. I mean, he's got to be your right-hand man if you're a squad leader. 9PZ definitely just walking right into the point. That airhead really just a killer for Legion right now. Nobody from Legion appears to remain. We're definitely going back to a 4-1 game here, folks. We got about 36 remaining in the match. Hopefully this goes the distance. We like to see as much gameplay as we can, but we've got one hell of a back and forth on our hands so far. If I'm Legion, I'm going to be a little worried here because checking the map, I'm going to lose all my garrisons. I've worked really hard to build these garrisons. Got a whole network in a beautiful C shape, controlling a good amount of the map. It's really hard to watch. That's quite a killer. That's quite a confidence just annihilator there. All that hard work now for nothing. Time to restart. We do have time though. Mind you, folks, it only takes 4 minutes total. 4 minutes total to cap 2 points here. We've got 31.5 minutes remaining to make that happen. Let's stop in up here on Legrand, see how Legion is defending, as they will be definitely spawning to reset again, and go back at this for yet a second time. Not the biggest reset we've ever seen from Legion. A little surprised to see that. We do have some enemy recon behind the lines. Curious to see how that unfolds. We'll try to get a view of what's progressing for you all. 9PZ definitely making their way diagonally to the next points, making sure to set up along the way. Looks to be we still have some stragglers back from Legion trying to make some desperation moves. If Charlie Leader here is able to get up to some supplies, it does look like he may be able to. Yeah, he has 100. He can get a backside garrison up and really kind of turn the tide if they're able to get a perfectly timed spawn wave off. Item has marked an enemy garrison which is close to some supplies that I know he's certainly trying to get to. Hopefully he's got a support around. He does not. Perhaps he can get up just north of himself, get a OP or something down. It's going to be huge. Charlie Leader obviously over here making his way. Any of you that have played this game know this is a great area for garrisons. It's kind of typical, but there's not a whole lot you can do. Let's see if he sees. We've got a spawn. Nice takedown. Gets him, takes him down. He's going to put his own garrison there to replace him. They're going to get a spawn wave. We've got a recon spotter coming over here. He definitely knows something's going on. If he's checked his map, which I'm sure he has by now. It's bright red. So we may see a strafe, we may not. Not completely aware of how many supplies are left. Oh, and just as he's very close to getting it, 9PZ has once again found a way to save the day for themselves, just in time. Definitely putting on quite a show for everybody tonight. We've got Legion on defense still, calling in some supplies, trying to maintain some ground here. You see they are trying to finally really focus on control of the blue-red line. Hopefully they're able to get a network of garrisons straight across. I like to build that wall, as we say, and then perhaps even try to get something here in the farms, at least for now, just to have a network set up and kind of control most of this western portion of the map. We will see how it plays out, but 9PZ is putting up quite a bit of aggressive play that Legion is definitely going to struggle to get that garrison network up if that's the route they decide to take, so we shall see. For those of you just tuning in, you're watching Winter War League Week 1 matchup between Legion 201, representing Latin America, and their adversary, the 9th Panzer Division, from here in the United States. This is the Console Wars. You're here, I'm Don Gotti, your host. Forget about... Oh, there we go. Minor technical difficulties, folks. Still new to this. If you're just tuning in with us, we've had quite a bit of a back and forth so far. We've had Legion off to a slow start, 9PZ pushing them all the way back to their point, them fighting all the way back to take mid, losing again. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. Right now they're playing some defense, but it looks like they may be trying to step up and do something here. Hopefully they're still trying to, couple guys trying to get something going. We've got armor here, which I don't understand. If I'm Legion, I'm going to have my armor on defense, working with my infantry, trying to clear out as best I can and hold just to maintain cap pressure. That's an interesting call by Legion, but their call to make nonetheless. Already back here consistently just firing away. With Grand Shaman being their final defensive point. We've got a few garrisons up now. It looks like we're slowly but surely getting garrisons. Again, Legion really needing to focus on this blue-red line, something they've struggled with all game. "9PZ still slowly making a push. General Meat Sledge here has been quite the highlight reel tonight. Dropping bombs, placing airheads, pushing his way and wiping points nearly by himself at times. The man's been everywhere. Quite a good show so far. Recourt Battery being their defensive point. They have a Panther. They have infantry. They're holding just fine. Nothing major coming from Legion as of right now. No real assault pressure. We do look to have a large spawn wave coming from the western garrison up here in D1. so I do look to see some action here shortly. We will try to focus in on that as best we can. I reckon our first initiative will be here with this PZ4. Large spawn wave coming from Legion on this western side of the map. Starting to finally move in, take some ground here. Not a whole lot of resistance that they're going to run into right away from 9PZ, but this this PZ4 has been quite a doozy all game. They've been going back and forth quite a lot. Definitely in the shit. Not afraid to get their hands dirty. Something you like to see in an armor unit for sure. Uh-oh, we got Stiglitz with the satchel. Stiglitz with the satchel. We've got plenty of shots ringing in, folks. Very curious to see, do they know they've been satcheled? He sees that somebody was up near him. Do they get out, or do we lose it here? We're going to find out momentarily, folks. We do have somebody getting out. They are checking. He is intently searching. Oh, and he's shredded as he finds the satchel. Was he able to get it off or save? No, and satchel pops. PZ4 down. What a play by Stiglitz. Sticks around to make sure it happens. Let's go. As you see, folks, much of that large spawn wave of Legion just cut down. Chopped down like a goddamn redwood. Alright, folks. We are here. Another spawn wave coming from Legion on this western side. Decent pressure being put on by 9PZ on their back point now as well. We'll check in with that momentarily, as it does appear that Brecourt's going to be held for right this moment anyways. Let's slowly pan over here. Or quickly pan over. Woo! Some spawns coming in from 9PZ, just constantly pestering. And at this point, that's really all you need. We've got a little over 21 minutes left in the game that Legion is going to have, you know, to work with, where they don't have to be capping fully. So, excuse me, not a lot of time to work with if you're Legion. They definitely need to start getting the fire rolling as far as if they're going to make any attempt at salvaging this from a 4-1 or having a chance at coming back to win this. They have done it before in a rather quick amount of time, so it can be done. But we're definitely going to see. So what we got here? Anything special? Take a live look. Damn it. Sorry. Turn that shit down. There we go. Alright, well, we were trying to get a front row view. We saw him get wiped. I completely obliterated that opportunity, but the show goes on. 9PZ steadily applying more pressure to Legrand Chamal. Legrand Chamal! And that's what they're going to need to do, really. They can ride this last 24 minutes out if they really decide. Not a whole lot left in this game. It's just going to really depend on what Legion's able to do. We've got a core of them set up here, but we really need guys, again, getting garrisons up. Garrisons win games, folks. I can't explain it any better than that. It's something Legion has struggled with all games, is keeping and maintaining, or even placing it sometimes. So hopefully they're able to work on that in the future. It might help them a lot. They seem to have a good team play thus far. So lots of opportunity here. The game is still young. We've got 24 minutes left if you're just now tuning in. Winter War League Week 1. matchup. Legion 201, 9PZ, let's go. Forget about it. Yeah, as you see, nothing big coming from Legion as of right now. They've got guys spawning back here, a squad leader and a recon. We've seen that all night. They kind of try to work in tandem to get guys once they find out the area's clear. Great plays all around. Like to see the effort. 9PZ, Gefreiter Cherry up here on the front line. With a sniper. Trying to get in a decent position. Really not a bad place for him. If he's able to work north a little bit, he's got some shrubbery he can hide in. He's got some area, and he could potentially lock out any garrison or HQ movement that they have if he's not careful. Takes one out after taking this guy down. Makes a move. He is being surrounded now. We shall see. Takes another out. Gefreiter Cherry not struggling to move up. I do believe he is. I think he's running the FG. Yes, he is running the FG, so he does have that high rate of firepower, but nonetheless, working his way through, just carving. Finally being taken down. Excellent play by Gefreiter Cherry, just holding his own, putting that FG to work. Here we are. Again, for those of you just now tuning in, this is Winter War League Week 1 matchup between Legion 201 and 9PZ. We have 9PZ off to a 4-1 advantage as we see, but we are getting some contesting going on Brecourt Battery. We will check in here and see. We've got small squad play coming in from Legion 201 as we speak on Brecourt. Not a whole lot, but they are definitely capable of doing some damage. They get some OPs up, get some squad swapping going on. I look for them to potentially be able to make a move here. They do have these garrisons set up in play for AA Network, so they definitely are paying attention and trying to at least pull off the Hail Mary. If they're able to do it, they are quite well set up as of right now. We've got 21 minutes remaining in the game. We will see how this plays out. And here we are, folks. Legion not able to put up enough of a fight. Beginning to lose Grand Chemin. We've got, it looks to be another, is that an airhead? Looks to be an airhead dropping in from 9PZ again. They like to use that airhead to reinforce their frontal push. If you're another team out there, take note of that. Sorry, 9PZ. It's working great for you though, fellas. Definitely in a good cap race here. 9PZ with the advantage. We need to see a reset here from Legion, or they have no chance at sustaining and holding off this 5-0. 9PZ has a Panther moving into the point. They have infantry in the point. We've got an airhead waiting to spawn in the next 20 seconds. Shit's about to get real, folks. Let's see how Legion responds here. This is going to be huge for one team or the other right now. bombing run just came in from Legion to help try to save a little bit of what they got. They're holding strong on midpoint. Doesn't look like this airhead's doing much if it's still standing. Quite a lackluster airhead, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like they were able to get much out of it. It appears to have been destroyed. Great play there by Legion 201 with that bombing run. It probably saved a big spawn wave. 9PZ still putting on the pressure. That Panther tank there really hurting Legion right now. We're about 20 seconds away from a 5-0, folks. We've got a spawn wave off right over here from Legion. It doesn't look like it's enough. They are quite grouped up. Oh, if Legion doesn't get something going real quick, it's over, folks. And there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Week 1 matchup between Legion 201 and 9PZ. We've got 9PZ with the 5-0. Nearly going the distance. Shout out to both teams' commanders. You see Red Bull here just busy the whole match, putting up garrisons. Excellent build scores. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. That was amazing. If you're just tuned in, be sure to stop back and watch. That is going to wrap up our presentation for tonight. 9PZ versus Legion. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. I'll see you again next week, folks. Take care. Forget about